And here we go, guys. The Chanel hat box, flower box. Um, this is in my bedroom. The lights weren't there. I added that later. My bedroom colors are gray and blue and white. So I just threw this on the top later. The LED lights, they're one of those little bottle cap one. They're not even properly affixed on, so I don't know if you can see. Kind of like a nice little touch, I think. So this one, I'm just kind of testing. I don't know if I want to go with the little tiles. So I have these in my collection here. I have these little larger tiles. They're acrylic, they're not real mirror glass. So they have a little film on top. That's why they look cloudy. So this lid is from the next box I'm using. I was just seeing how much bigger it is. Sorry to pop it right in front. So these ones were from IKEA. This one was inside here. So this was a smaller size and this was the larger size. So I have these other white ones. They're smaller, so I wanted to try to go with the same size to give you an idea of how much flowers. So in here, if I counted correctly, there's like 38 foam flowers, rose flowers. I'm going to use these pink ones because I'm going to be putting them in either this room, which my color coordination in here is gold, white, and pink, or down in my studio. So we'll see where I'm going to put them. So you need a round at the front. You need the stem ones to give you stability. And then up on the top, it doesn't need the stem. So either you buy them all without stem, and then you can buy these separately and you can stick them in here or glue them in here. Make sure you can see. Or you can buy them separately and get a few with these. Like you need at least about a dozen or 15, to give you the stability on the outside, and then you can start gluing them on the top. And you'll start seeing how I layer them on. And so you don't need the stem. Or it's up to you. It doesn't reach to the bottom all once you start getting to the top. So it doesn't really matter about a stem or not. That's how I made this one. I didn't look up any video. I just did it myself. So that's how I made it. So I think I'm going to go a little bit different on this one. I had these gems that I had from the dollar store in my last haul for Valentine, and I didn't use them for anything, but I don't want to mix red and pink, so I think I'm going to stay away from that. And I think I'm going to stick with the mirror tiles. And I'm going to do probably the bottom row on this lid. This is the lid. It's the same size, so that's why I was kind of going up there. I think I'm going to do the bottom. It's upside down, but I think I'm going to do the bottom, the larger tile, and then one row of the smaller tiles. But you never know, like, once I start going, I might change it up, but that's so far my idea. Then I'm going to show you how I did the logo and how I did the label here. Now this was blue for my bedroom. If you use this, because this is not white, I had to, you can see a little layering here. Because this was a vinyl, I didn't realize until I started putting it on, it was very see-through. So I had to put a layer underneath to cover the graphic that was on the box. So, make sure how you're going to do it. But you can't go too thick either because then it won't fit in the lid. So you have to be careful of what material put on here. So I wanted to use those other thick material that I have here, but if I go too thick, then it's not going to fit in there, right? So I can't use that. So I might go, I don't know, I might go with that thin permanent glitter paper that I got from Dollar Store, Dollarama, whatever it was, whichever, Dollar Tree, I think it was Dollarama on this one. Then I've got these, the diamonds. And these you can get on Amazon, and they come in various colors. This is what I use for the Chanel lettering in black. So on this pink one, I don't know, maybe I might change it up because there's a pink in here. And there's also that of a fuchsia color. Again, you know, I put the project, I put everything out, kind of go with the flow. So this is the hat box. That's what we're creating today. So first what you got to do is work on the outside and then the flowering. So be right back. Okay, guys, what I want to do is just sort of explain if you're not following. Okay, so you have to kind of look in the well, this is what I did. I look in the front to not leave any gap because you don't want it to show in the middle the emptiness. So you come to the front and you see the flower if it's going to bud up next to the next one, and then you pick inside the grid. If you could see that I'm not really just going always to the next one, I'm just sticking it in to see if the next grid, the next hole in the next grid is going to leave the flower close enough to not leave a gap between the petals so that there's no emptiness inside. So it looks nice and full. Now, yes, the next flower that's going to be without a stem is going to be glued on top, positioned so that the petal is going to be covering a gap. But if you don't, it might not be sufficient enough to cover. You don't want to squish or make it distorted. So these are foam. So you don't really want to make it look too awkward. You want the fullness of it. So you just put the stem, arrange it. By the way, when you order these, I may not have mentioned, when you order these foam flowers, don't panic. They come kind of flat, distorted. So you open them up, lay them down on your carpet or wherever, and leave them a few days, and they start to fluff up on their own with the air and giving it room. And if they don't, you just kind of come and puff them up a little bit with your fingers, and they do. Eventually, they just, with the air in the room, they just fluff up on their own. So don't panic when you see them. Like, you just go, oh my God, they look awful. They're just squished together, but they puff up. So, yeah, so when you come in, and then in the grid, next to the corner of the Scotch tape, you put the stem close to the corner, and it leans up and grabs the glue. So that way it'll stay there. Sometimes it takes a couple of times, right? Because the stem on the bottom is pushing up on it. So that's why I'm kind of straightening them up a little bit and trying to get it where it's just not giving a lot of push on the bottom. So it happens. So you just kind of put it in the corner and keep putting glue, and then it stays. And then they don't move. So it gives you a good support on the bottom. So that's why I found putting glue on the tape and making it strong on the bottom, because you're going to need that support. So that's why. So I'm just going to finish around over here. Thought I explained that so that you get why I'm kind of like skipping some and not going right into the very next hole. So in case you're going to do it. So be right back. There it is, guys. So all the roses are on. This is the back. So my label is going to go here. Now, this is the Chanel label that I did here. And it wasn't exactly this silver paper I used. It was very similar. I bought this one off of Amazon, but it was the same thing. I had no adhesive at the back. And you don't really want to use hot glue because it becomes very bumpy. And you don't want to sit there playing around gluing with other adhesives because it keeps moving. So what I did was I used black velvet. It's not really thick velvet, okay guys? It's like a felt, but it's really nice, and it's got a adhesive backing. So I came up with that idea. I have black and I've got gray. I've been using this for my mirrored furniture to line it. So I used this one with the black because if you look at their logos, and I found lettering that was very close, and this package has multiple colors. And then for the Paris part, I found these quarter self-adhesive lettering that have the small capital letters. They were from Amazon as well. So, oops, it's called headline sign. And they were a quarter. They got numbers and capital letters. So I did the Paris part with that. And then the border, let me get this out of the way now. So the border part, I have multiple rows of these. They're from Dollarama. So I had multiple rows of these, and I did that border for that. So I used a ruler, spaced it out, because if you look at the logo, Chanel is spaced out like that, and Paris is below like that. So I just used a ruler and did that. Now for this one, I don't want to do it identical, but you kind of tend to lean to, what worked, you don't need to fix it. But I'm trying to do something different with this one, and the color coordination with the pink. Remember the tile, the fake tile that I used for the floating hearts for Valentine for the door? And I'm thinking, not on this one, but on the other one, this is just the adhesive protection. I'm going to take that off after and put the lettering on there. So if the lettering on that fake mirror looks good, I'll go with the fuchsia. And then figure out whether to do that. And this is adhesive. And then maybe just keep it with silver and fuchsia crushed tiles. I'm going to see if I got more first, and then maybe I'll do the crushed tile. Yeah. So be right back. I'm going to get that set up, start the lettering, and then we'll figure out the embellishment. So be right back. So guys, I've shown you how you can fix the uglies. Take a flower, push back a little bit on the petals, cut it, and then just slide it in and glue it on top of where glue patches are. Because on the pink, it's, as I said before, it's very visible. On the white, not so much. You have to come very close to where the glue patches are. But I just thought of that with the pink. I've got so many extras over here. I might even do another small one for my dressing room, but this is a very good idea. If it's very forgiving, so you won't even notice it. I'm really happy about that. You slide it in there and it's very undetectable that there's another petal on top. So it just hid because I hated that it was right at the front. So it's that glue gob over here with these 3 flowers was really ugly. And it's such a shame when it's so pretty and it's right here at the front. So look at that. It's gone. And you can't even see. You can't even see the petal. It was glued in. It's right in there. And this one, I even lost, it was right here. So this is the 3 right here that I glued in 3 petals to cover that patch over here that was melted for me putting so much glue to kind of close it in. Now you can't even tell. I even lost where I did that. But what do you think with the pearls now added on the petals in the center? I think it did a little different touch, right? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. And right now, I'm just noticing, I don't know if you can see, but on the top, this one, the other one, not so much because it was a different color of box. But this is orange and it's so detectable. So I'm starting to really think if I should do something about that. And I don't think the diamonds, fuchsia diamonds over here is a good idea because they get a little bit difficult on small confined areas to kind of straighten them out. And if they look wonky, you know, like crooked teeth, they're so eye-catchy. So they're so distracting. So what I was thinking of doing is I went through that bag, and because it's pearl, this is small enough to do like a chain of pearl around and hide that orange rim of the lid. So I'm thinking, again, I hope you can see that. So if I leave it right, see if I pushed up right against there, you can see it. So I think right there you can't. So I think I'm going to do that because it just kind of, again, gives it that pearl whiteness, bring out some of the pink and the mirror, kind of tie it all in together with the pearls on the lid. Yeah, so I'm going to do that right now. And that's the last thing.